Why is this article so important? For so many reasons, including to point out the value of sticking with the science and not listening to quote unquote common sense that feels intuitively correct. I'm Dr. Candida Fink. I'm a child, adolescent, and adult psychiatrist. I work with children and teens and adults and families, and have been doing this for a long time and have worked with many families living with the risk of dying due to mental health issues, and dying in particular in ways such as this. And for many, many decades, and the article goes into this in some detail, people refused to put up barriers on bridges. The thinking being, well, look, if someone wants to unalive themselves, they'll just go find another way. But the public health research, the epidemiologic research, became very clear over time that people ultimately dying by unaliving oneself is an impulsive act in many, many cases. So that while there may be plans and thoughts for a multitude of reasons, including serious mental health events such as depression, the actual act is often impulsive and a moment of opportunity. And that when they looked and did research on people who were saved from those moments, it turns out that most of them were alive years later. So they did not all go find another way to unalive themselves. In fact, most didn't. And this took years, and the barrier is now up on the Golden Gate Bridge. And in fact, in the second half of 2025, there were no deaths by unaliving. They have also put in other strategies. They put in a whole system of monitoring and outreach. So they have been preventing in that way, but even the number of times that someone has tried and that they've had to do the outreach, those have decreased. And that's dramatic. There used to be, to check the number, 30 deaths on average per year. And second half of 2025, there were 0. So this is, I think, obviously brilliant news all around. I mean, so good. And also so important because it points to this idea that just because something feels right in the science, or what you imagine the science will be, it is not always intuitive. And the research here was clear, and it took a lot of people, many years of pushing to do it. It's happened, and the payoff has been crystal clear. So this is the last paragraph of the article, which also includes resources if you or anyone you know are in crisis or in any way having thoughts of unaliving oneself. 988 is the national hotline. You can use it to call or text, and I encourage you to reach out for help, because if you can get past the moment so many times, that's enough to stay alive.